thank you both for coming on board and for bringing your beautiful talent to our show. We are honored, and we hope that this reaches the world. In fact, the most remote parts of the world has access to digital communication these days. And it's a wonderful gift to all of us that we could share in this way, in such a beautiful way. And we can take the gifts and talents of art, musically, visually, and various forms of it to the world. So just think of it, just imagine right now as you share and you give of yourself that some kid in,
you could be even in Kwamashu, or it could be in
yes,
Phoenix,
yes,
or
Phoenix,
in
Kwamashu, and where else?
Mumbai. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the whole point of it. Imagine the inspiration you pouring into this, and the digital communication is the other part of our artistic tools today. It's given us something our forefathers didn't have. You know, they operated in little groups and they grew it to what we have today. And here we are. So Zawadi, it's lovely to have you on the show today. And I do love that amazing outfit you're wearing. You shall talk to us about it later on. But what I need to know from you right now is, when did you know that this is what you're born to do?
Thank you so much, Michelle. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for having us today. It really means a lot, you know. Our purpose is to make our music travel as much as it can, to reach a large number of people, audience in African diaspora or even beyond. I think I knew because ever since I was young, I've been a musician. I've been that child with a musical sense and notes, even the pitch, since I was young. So definitely I was born for this, because when I hear stories from my mother, from my parents, they say when even I was young, when I was not even able to talk properly, but I was very good at hearing the music and sing and imitate whoever that was singing at that moment or at that time. So it has been with me in my journey, primary school, high school, church. I've been a very active person in school, with cultural music, with choral music, and most importantly with gospel music as well, and being a leader, being a person who always get a light of leading people through music. So it has been there since, since I was young and until today.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I'm very interested that you are a gospel singer, because that's my background too. Yes, I also grew up in the church, and I've been singing in my church. I've been singing in the choir, so I understand that background, and I understand how it consumes your life. And I think it gives me a better understanding of how you grew into where you are today and who you have become. So thank you for that, Zawadi.
Thank you so much.
Kerolin, your expression of music as an art form, is this your childhood dream come true?
You know, I think after hearing Zawadi, I can relate to my own childhood, because my childhood has been filled with a lot of culture and sounds and music. I actually started off playing the Indian drums, which is the tabla. And I was so fascinated by the beats of the drum that rhythm became something really interesting to me. I only later, much later, realized that I actually had a voice. And when I started that journey of actually singing, there was a deeper fulfillment. And this was a very spiritual fulfillment. And I say that everything that has happened in this lifetime and is continuing to happen, is a very deeply spiritual experience. I even say having this conversation today it's meant to be. We have a certain purpose in life, and God has used us as divine instruments to share our light with other people. So at a young age, I realized that I had a purpose, and this purpose was to share my love and my light with other people. And this is how the journey started.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, you know, architecture can also be considered an art form, right? So, how have these very different parts of your career melded?
Okay, that's a beautiful idea of having, I think, um, architecture, which is about built environment, but it's about creating space.
Mm-hmm.
Now we do the same through music. We create an atmosphere when it comes to music. So I do believe that it works hand in hand. It's the music that supplements the inspiration for the architecture, and this allows me to understand what is it that people need in space. What is it that they need to explore? Even I mean, I'm very passionate about performance spaces. What is it that I would love to experience in a performing a theater or space? How can it enhance my performance? How can space elevate the consciousness of people? So I believe that the architecture and the music and every other aspect of life, any career, they all work hand in hand, because we have to have that balance in life. And this is the balance that I would say, graced with, is to choose the path of creating designs and concepts through architecture, and also exploring the gifts of music at the same time.
That's marvelous. You know, that resonates with me because my husband is an urban planner. And so, you know,
Oh,
architecture
wow.
and urban planning, they go together. So I have
Very
a good
much so.
understanding of it, yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm also very interested in your concept of performance spaces. I think
Yes.
that's a very interesting concept and maybe something to grow on for the future because it's changed. The world has changed in terms of
Yeah.
how performances take place and just the
Yes.
spaces that we're using, and virtual spaces have become such a big deal in the world today. So we'll have that
100%.
conversation, I think, sometimes
We will.
in the future, Carolyn.
We will
Okay,
definitely.
Zawadi,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
talk about your experiences in South Africa when you perform with Kerolin. Have you experienced any biased attitudes toward you both? Or is it love and acceptance of both cultures immediately?
It's all love, guys. It's all unity. It's
Oh,
all.
wow.
When we first met with Carolyn, and started to do this Indo-African music, we we didn't we didn't know what we're going to receive from people, because this is unique, this is different, and I don't know, but I've never seen African music or African musicians be in partnership with African or Indian musicians as well, or like Jews like we do. It's something that people can look at it and be like, oh wow, why will this lady try and imitate Indian scale or something like that? Or even to say, oh, why will this Indian sing isiZulu like that? So what's the purpose, But instead of that, we are receiving so much love. We get to be interviewed. We go to radio stations. When the moments they see our performance, even on Facebook, I always see when Carolyn try and post something and they share and share and share. And I think also with Indian consulate, we've done some videos and some music, it was Hindi music, and it was posted on YouTube. And the comments, when you go there, you see the comments that people love what we are doing. They really, really appreciate, and they are not even biased to their own people, which are Indians, which is Kerolin, or even Risa, when Risa is part of us on some of the songs. But they are like, this is new and this is different. and it sounds amazing because I think also the connection that I have with Kerolin, and the connection that we create when we're singing, I think that's very important to understand what Kerolin um, means when he is singing in his own language, and myself trying to interpret that in isiZulu. And I think it helps our people to understand even deeper into Indian music, you know, to understand better of how do they write, and what when they're writing their music, what is the meaning behind, what's the connection in that. So I think it works for both of us, and that's why everyone around here in Durban or even in South Africa, they can receive this kind of music and this kind of um, initiative beautifully.
This is fantastic. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I think it amplifies the love that is coming out of your own cohesion as two human
100%.
beings who brought this merging to the world. And
Yes.
and I think it also proves how different we all are, yet how similar we all are.
Yes, yes, yes.
Exactly.
Those connection and those parallels that we draw together, it says it's two cultures meeting together with one love and to produce something with love and peace and unity and harmony. It's what we do that makes our people to receive what we are bringing to them. They receive our hearts first. Our hearts brings out and deliver something in good hearts, and then obviously they will receive it like that.
Yes.
That's
You know,
amazing. That is absolutely. Go ahead, Kerolin. Go ahead.
I want to share this because, you know, this is such a beautiful um, journey of having Indo-African music being celebrated in a country that is so diverse. I think as South Africans, we come from such a beautiful country with such unique people and culture. I mean, this day actually we celebrate 163 years of Indian indentured laborers coming into the country or into onto the African shores. But at the same time, I believe that Zawadi and myself, together with other African and Indian musicians, have the responsibility to be the torchbearers of our history and what our forefathers have given us. And what we've tried to do through collaboration is to make sure that we retain the authenticity of our heritage, but at the same time try to preserve the culture, also learn about each other's cultures, because I believe that in humanity we need to understand people. We need to understand people's perspectives before we make any judgment of any sort. And this is the reason why people are in conflict in this day and age, is because we do not allow ourselves and others to have the opportunity to come together and just understand each other. And when we do that, we do allow that time for us to exchange our art forms, our thoughts, and our commonalities and differences. We learn so much about ourselves. We also learn that there's many similarities. There's no difference in actual fact.
Absolutely. So your music, I would say, your music promotes enemies to become friends. Would I be correct in saying that? Yes.
100%.
So in that sense, you're not just South African ambassadors in the music world. I would see you as global ambassadors, global citizens, because you're promoting something the world's trying hard to get, and it's natural, it's innate in our human makeup to be compassionate, to be kind, to be loving, to be generous with ourselves, to revere, to have reverence for each other as human beings and for each other's cultures, and that your music is doing that. I would say you are global ambassadors. Well, that's my opinion. And I hope that it's heard globally, and other people hone in to what you're producing. So without further ado, let's get into the first song. And Zawadi, you're going to be performing first.
Thank you. I think with the conversation that we have just had, it has given me an idea of next year we are celebrating 30 years of democracy as the country, as South Africans, and I think the whole country will be celebrating that. So I think I can do this song, and I think Kerolin, we need to do a very big concert singing
Yeah, we have to.
democratic songs and freedom songs together. And right now, I've just got an idea that let me do one freedom song, an old freedom song that I can do, but using umakweyana, which is an ancient instrument, which it has never been done before.
Marvelous. I feel completely honored that I am being given a private concert. This is a private concert by two very accomplished and gifted musicians. Thank you. Thank you both very much. Zawadi, that was amazing. I am just blown away. So I want you to talk more about, is that what it is? Did I say it correctly? Okay, tell us more about it.
Okay, this is an old instrument from our grandfathers, grandmothers. Mostly it was used by our grandmothers because it was used by women. There are many bow instruments. You know, it is quite similar to a bow. You know, when you talk about a bow and the arrow,
yes,
that
yes.
it's called a bow instrument, but this one specifically, it's umakweyana. Grandmothers used this instrument to create music, authentic music, which is African music, and they specifically they were looking around and observing what was happening, and they can write music based on that, and they can sit down with this beautiful instrument and recites through the instrument. You can use a poem and recites through this instrument. I call this instrument as an intimate friend because when you play the instrument, it's so close to your heart, and you are using the left hand, and you have to use the breast for it to in and out for those beautiful overtones that makes the instrument to be as different as it is and as different as it sounds. It's through the overtones that comes from it. So that's love on its own. Giving love to an instrument, giving love to whatever that you are talking about through the music or whatever that you want to deliver to your people. So the instrument is made of, this is the calabash, and this is a tree, which is a fern tree, and this is just a curtain wire, the wire that we use for curtains. We take this wire and make an instrument. And this is inkatha, just for the instrument to resonate with the wire and the calabash all together. And then here comes, our people were very genius when it comes to these things, you know, because who would have thought that just a calabash and a tree, and this tree is a very got very so much of thorns when you are cutting it and when you are taking it, but they were very brave and resilient to go and take this and make an instrument just to tell our African stories, just to tell our African fairy tales, but through music and in a different aspect this time. So when you play, it's only got two notes in it. These notes, but in these notes you can create a lot more just using these two notes. You can recite and even say izibongo, you know, when we praise singing for our kings, praise singing for our queens, when we say inyathile hambe sengame emazibuleni njengomzingela amafika nosebenza umjokana owedliwa ngamanxasa odla umfazi umkasukuza wadla usukuza intana yakhe. These are songs that are called amahubo, which are original music that our old people were using when there were wars, when they were using, when they were praise singing for amakhosi, for kings, from the royal family, or even for their own homes, for surnames. We have amahubo for different surnames. We have amahubo. Amahubo are referred as the prayer. So amahuba refers as the prayer of the nation, or even the prayer at home before each family and each surname that can, before they do something ritual or even cultural, they sing these cultural heritage music or songs all together. But it's different when you sing it using this instrument. And this instrument was used by Princess Makoko. Princess Makoko used a similar instrument that was called ukupu. This one is umakweyana, but Princess Makoko is a mother to Prince Buthelezi Mangosuthu, who has just passed on. May his soul rest in peace. Who is the former, no, he's not a former, but the president of IFP, one of the political party.
Yes.
Here in South Africa. So this is a very special instrument. And you know, Michelle, we are bringing these to preserve for our future generation and for our youth to know, because these kind of instruments are fading out right now. No one is, we have less people who still have the knowledge about this, and we have less people who still have history about these instruments, and they're very, very important.
That's marvelous, Zawadi. I'm really pleased to hear that you are continuing the culture even through the use of this indigenous instrument, and that it's made with a tree bark and with calabash. This is fantastic. It comes from the earth. You know, this is an extension of the power of the earth to become the music for all of us. Yes. And that you're using it in this way is exceptional. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And so I want to take it back to Kerolin about your time in India as a student. Kerolin, what were your experiences as a young South African Indian man studying and living there? And did you experience any bias there?
Okay, on the outset, when I've always wanted to go to India. I think as my identity, I wanted to know my roots, my cultural roots, identity as an Indian, because living in this country, we are not privileged with the knowledge of knowing who we are and our forefathers and our ancestors. So I went with that idea of finding out my identity, learning about the music and architecture that I was so passionate about. But my journey turned out very different. I became the president of the African Students Association and a representative of the South African community. The African Students Association comprised of representatives from many parts of Africa. And my quest then became to understand my African journey in India. So it was an amazing experience. We had collaborations. I've been doing Indo-African collaborations from that time. In fact, my research, my main thesis was on about designing an Indo-African art and culture village. And this whole exploration of being in India, but learning about my African roots started to, started to manifest. And it's amazing because sometimes you think you know what you really want, and it's entirely different. Because I think we need to remind ourselves that we are very different. In this country, we are unique beings. Yes. We have a bit of everything. We have a bit of everything. And when you go to India, I did not feel like I belonged to India. I believe that I belong to Africa, because we're very different as people. So yes, being in India, the people in India were very fascinated by the fact that we still retained some type of Indian culture in South Africa. But at the same time, they were really interested in knowing what was South Africa so special. You know, what's so special about South Africa? We know South Africa has given birth to the great father of, we say the nation, but I think of the world, Nelson Mandela. This was the journey in India. India was more of an African experience in India.
Well, you know, the whole concept of Ubuntu and, you know, a lot of our country, especially in the last 30 years, is built on it. We will not talk about warts and all today. We will focus on what's positive. And when you look in, you don't have to look very deep into South African society to find this. And 100%. I think my personal opinion is, if Madiba can't see us from wherever it is that he is right now, I think he'll be very proud at what you both are doing. You are continuing to share and to care in a unique way, because music and all forms of art, if not shared, it's meaningless. We have to take it to the world. We've got to intersect. And we've got to play with collision. Collision is not a bad thing in the art world. Collision brings about new births and rebirths.
Yeah. And conversation, because when you are encountered with collision, you have the responsibility to now start to build and to see how we can, how we can move forward.
Yes, absolutely. So Kerolin, on that note, can you now perform for us?
Yes, I will. When Zawadi was singing Asimbonanga, I was thinking about actually wanting to do an Indian interpretation of it, but I will sing a song that I believe is representative of what a righteous human being should, the qualities that a righteous human being should possess. It's a song that is, it is known to be a powerful song in India to bring people together. And Zawadi and I have sung this before, but I will sing a little snippet of it.
Go for it.
Vaishnav Jan to tene kahiye che, पीड़ पराई जाने वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीड़ पराई जाने पर दुखे ऊपर तार करे तो है, पर दुखे ऊपर तार करे तो है, मन अभिमानना आने रे, वैष्णव जन तो सकल लोक मान सहोने वंदे सकल लोक मान सहोने वंदे निदान करे केनीरे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी के वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जी पीड़ पराई जाने रे.
Oh my goodness. I must be like the most privileged person on the planet today. I'm completely enthralled. First Zawadi and now you. This is incredible. Incredible. You know, we live in a world that celebrates celebrities and fame, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful part of our world, and I think some of us grew through that by watching them and learning. And you know, it's how culture is in the world today, popular culture. You can't take it out. It exists, and it's sort of fashioned society in one way or another. But this is on a whole other level, and this is why we celebrate gifted people like yourselves on the People of Purpose talk show. It's real folk, ordinary guys and girls, ordinary men and women, just ordinary people doing life beautifully. Because this kind of music will heal mental illness, will take away anger, will bring about, because music changes a person. When we listen to music that appeals to us, it never leaves us the same people again. We change. Something changes inside of us. Our brains are wired that way too. And when the brain is wired in that kind of way to receive something so beautiful, I think it can also heal the body. Because we have that kind of power. God created us with immense power. It's just that we tap into tiny things and we keep moving. But musicians and artists, visual artists, you explore in detail, like Zawadi's instrument. You know, who would think of fashioning such a powerful instrument out of the calabash? It's just amazing. And I personally want to thank you both for doing this. And it is a pity that we cannot have you sing together and bring the voices together. But it's okay. People need to come to your performances and watch the both of you. I will do so myself. Wherever you're playing, and if I'm there, I will definitely attend, because this is incredible. Kerolin, how did you learn to sing with such a melodic voice? I have not heard that in South Africa. I haven't experienced that with vernacular singing. Can I say it's vernacular singing?
You can say
it's classical
Indian music.
Yeah. I haven't, you know, I have had experience. I grew up in that, but I haven't heard a voice like yours. It's incredible. And that the two of you used your specific gifts to create one voice. All I can say is, God bless you both, and congratulations for such a marvelous achievement. And therefore, it's touching the world the way it is.
Thank you.
So, Kerolin, what does social cohesion mean to somebody like yourself?
Social cohesion for me it's literally understanding who you are as a being through sharing your experiences with another person or other people. I don't believe that social cohesion is about anyone outside. It's not about other people. It's about yourself. Connecting with Zawadi has taught me how important it is to allow yourself to to be in the space with other people. I have so much of, I resonate with Zawadi. On stage, it's a different feeling. And I think many of the audiences that have witnessed us and experienced us, and sometimes it's so spontaneous because when it comes to our costumes, we don't always talk about what we're going to wear, but we end up wearing similar costumes, right? The next thing is that we end up looking at each other at the right moment on stage, and we do not rehearse anything. When it comes to singing, we know the song and we know what we need to do, but everything just works. And the secret, I do believe, behind this is that when you connect to that inner being and connect to God, yes, it is a divine presence, and that presence has been with us all the time. And I do believe that it is the presence that is allowing us to do what we do. So yes, the social cohesion is about parallel journeys experiencing the same thing. And that is what it is. I do believe that people should allow themselves to explore that part of themselves. Go out and engage with communities. Be more inclusive in your life. Be more inclusive. Do away with the old stereotypical ways of thinking. Unlearn the bad habits that we've been taught from generation to generation about not wanting to work with people, not wanting to interact with certain communities and people. Allow yourself to walk in the footsteps of another, because you will definitely learn a journey that will teach you a whole lot of new experiences and lessons in life. We think we know it all until we meet somebody and we realize, you know what, there's a lot to learn.
Absolutely.
There's a lot to learn.
And you know what it is? It's that extension of love, trust, compassion, kindness, yes, toward all human beings. And I'm just so enthralled by what you both bring to the table. You both have no idea how ignited I am right now, because that's how it works in my world. Inspiration is everything. And you both have that quality. And I think South Africa needs to hear you more. The world needs to hear you more. I will talk to you both at the end of the show about that, because this should not be contained just in our country or just a few countries around the world. The whole world needs to hear about the music you both are producing, because the world is currently in such a state, and people are talking about how to bring about more compassion, more kindness, and they're reaching out to us, the creative world. But we have in existence this, and this is a tool actually to bring about change. And you both obviously are, I don't have to ask, you are both patriots of SA, the love, just the excitement when you speak about our country. That is what I wanted to hear. And it's just awesome. It comes out of the music as well. So thank you for that, Kerolin. You really blessed us with what you said and your singing as well. So Zawadi, you have traveled to the USA and you've shared your unique style of African music with Americans. So how was your music received in that part of the world? Did you experience any bias, or was it full-on love? And so what message do you have for South Africa and the world to enhance, sustain, and establish social cohesion among the world's diverse ethnic populations?
Thank you so much. In America, I think one thing they love is someone who's original, someone who's authentic, someone who's grounded to their roots. So if you are bringing that to them because it's what they don't have, they love you dearly. They love you. They love you from the outfits. So from being who you are, when you know your identity, it's easy to to present that to your people through even the looks on you, you know, your skin color. They love the skin color, I'm sure. I remember I went to McDonald's and everyone when was coming in, they were like, are you from, where are you from? Because I'm like, I look like them. To me, I was like, well, I look like them,
Yeah.
you know, African Americans. So they were like, where are you from? Like, where I'm from? I'm from here. They're like, no, no ways with that skin color. I'm like, okay, South Africa. You know, there's
Wow.
something unique and different um, in a person who is presenting themselves as they are, authentically, and as beautiful as they are, as original as they are. So I think that's the first part that they loved the most. And then it's a bonus to present African music to the level that I am doing. It's the bonus to them because they now know who you are, they know your identity, they know where you're from, and they can tell from how you look, from how you speak, from how you sing. You don't try and imitate anyone's culture, you don't try and change yourself, but you are presenting yourself to other people, to other country too. This is me, and
Mm-hmm.
this is my culture, and I'm embracing who I am, and I'm presenting myself to you like that. So they love. I received so much love. I got to have so many performances, even the one that I didn't have, like they were not the unplanned one, because whoever was seeing me performing, they're like, "Can you come at BB's? Can you come at this and this and that, this and that?" Then end up performing a lot more than you expected or you anticipated. But I love that because I have passion with music, but I have passion as well and love. The love that I have for what I'm doing, I will never complain, even when can do it in every time and all the time for my own people, as long as I'm presenting myself in a very good way and in a very rememberable way and memorable
Yes.
way, because
Yes.
all is what is important is for them to remember me all the time, that Zawadi is in this state and Zawadi is this African proud woman as I
Yes.
am, presenting my cultural indigenous instruments, because I'm not only playing this one, I also play a handpan. I collect African indigenous instruments. I have a handpan that I'm playing. I have penny whistle, which is
Oh,
sounding like a,
wow.
I have, a lot more of that. So when you present that to Americans, they love what you do. Also, the message that I can say is be original. Love yourself because it starts from you. So if you love yourself enough to do history on your lineage, to
Mm-hmm.
do history on your um, people, to do history on who you really are, and understand that in a deeper meaning and present that to the world, then you are everything
You're
to the
everything.
yes, even when
Marvelous.
you're writing, because this goes a long way to how you write your music. This
Mm-hmm.
goes a long way to what you are playing. This goes a long way to what do you wear. You get to choose even the designers that does fashion for you, because you know how you want to look to the world, and you know what it means to look special and different to your people or to the world. So that's the message I can give. Be yourself
Marvelous.
and be
Marvelous.
and
You've
embrace.
answered the entire question with everything you've said. And I
Ah,
suppose that to you, that's what social cohesion is. I
mm.
bring to you my authenticity and we'll create love out of it. That's just amazing. It's a
Yes,
gorgeous
and
message. I love it. I
explore
absolutely love
music, explore music,
it. And
explore
everything. It's a
Indian
whole
music.
experience.
Yes,
It's
explore
your
Indian
it's your
music.
ethnicity, it's your attire, and then the gift that comes out of you. Wow, that
Yes,
is just it's an explosion. It's incredible.
yes.
So Zawadi, tell me about the outfit you're wearing. Explain the significance of it to me. And it's very beautiful, by the way. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just give me an idea of what it means, how it's put together, and who are your designers. Kerolin, I'm getting to you next because I've seen your clothes. They're exquisite too. So let's start with Zawadi.
My designers are Sipombo, who designs these essence, I don't know, African essence of some sort, very special garments. And what I liked the most when he was approaching me to say, Zawadi, can you wear my brands? I was like, can I see them? And then I saw a little bit, and then he was like, I'm inspired by the music that you are singing, but the garments that I'm making are inspired by uh, West Africa, which is Kenya.
Wow.
By the way, I resonate with that because Zawadi Yamungu is a stage name that means um, gift from God, and it's in Swahili language. That Swahili language is from Kenya.
Yes.
Kenyans speak Swahili. My
Yes.
original name is Kosingpile, which is in isiZulu. So when he mentioned that, obviously in my mind I was like, this is the right person for me because I'm very inspired by West African music. I explore a lot on different genres, different musicians, not only the South African musicians. So when I check on Omu Sangare, when I check on Salif Keita, when I check on those people, I love how they present themselves in the musical form, being original, as I've just said, and being authentic. So when he came to me, Sipombo, so I didn't have no doubt. So I was like, I'm taking this one, and he creates such beautiful clothes for me when I'm going to perform. But I have also Nairobi, who also does very good. I also have Wantashi, who is in town doing Wantashi's garments are classy, but also a touch of African, you know, something that is in between. You can wear it when you go for those gala dinners, but also you can wear it for a traditional of some sort, but you can look classy, but also in a very traditional way. So some people does garments and fashion so beautifully, and it inspires people like us who are very specific at what they want because
Mm-hmm.
of what we are trying to show the world, what we are trying to tell the world about us, and then today, traditionally, we play very, I don't know what's name to use. We play a very special role in colors. So when we are doing beads like
Mm-hmm.
this, when you look at these colors, they match these colors as well. And there's yellow, which is bright. There's orange. There's red, which is love. There's, yellow, which is optimistic. There's black, which is seriousness. When we present these colors, it means I'm bright. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And I present to you a cultural young girl in South Africa.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely marvelous. Awesome. So, Zawadi, how about another song from you? Entertain me.
Okay. I get I'll go for that because with what I've just explained, this song is um I can call it an affirmation song
Okay.
because it's about women. It's about embracing your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's about loving yourself. The outer parts this time. It's about when you have your natural African hair. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Love her. It's about the
Beautiful.
skin color. That's you
Oh,
beautiful. So you in the song, you will keep on hearing the hle, 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 because I keep on saying inwele zami zinhle, which means my hair is beautiful. When I
oh,
say my breast, whether they're big, whether they're small, but they're beautiful. When I say my tummy, whether it's big, whether it's small, it's beautiful. That is hle, 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 muhle, zinhle. My hair zinhle,
wow.
my bums, whether they are flat bums or big bums, but they're beautiful. It's what I
Awesome.
am. God created me like this. Therefore, I
Yes,
have to embrace what I am. I cannot change
absolutely.
myself. You know,
Absolutely.
and everyone in the world needs to accept me for who I am. And it first comes from I love what I am. So here's the song.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It's a happy song. Mawubani indlela zami zincome ngoba zinhle. Oh, mawubani indlela zami zincome ngoba zinhle. Mawubani ibala lami lincome ngoba lihle. Ibala lami lihle. Amabele ami mahle. Ifika yami inhle. Isinqe sami sihle. Uhamba kwami kuhle. Isitho sami sihle. Ibala lami lihle. Mina ngimthundo futhi ngimuhle. Ay, 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 ay. Ngaze ngamuhle. Ay, ay. Mawubani indlela zami zincome ngoba zinhle. Hey! Mawubani isitho sami sincome ngoba sihle. Soka sami-ke sihle. Amabele ami mahle. Ifika yami inhle. Kanye nemqondo yami mihle. Mina ngimuhle, 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 hle, 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 ngimuhle, hle, 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 ngimuhle, hle, 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 ngimuhle, hle, 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 hle. Ay, 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 hey, oh, thank you.
Marvelous,
Love that.
absolutely marvelous. Wow, wow, incredible. I have to ask, have you both been approached by any of the Philharmonic orchestras in the various cities in SA to perform with them?
No, we haven't. They have approached me, but individually. We haven't done something with them together,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
we would love to do something with
would
them.
absolutely love that,
Oh,
actually.
it would be
that
beautiful.
can you both just imagine you have your music. Now there's the creative in me coming into play. You have your music, your blend, right? Then you bring in a ballet dancer. You bring in someone with traditional African dancing, an Indian dance, and the two of you singing, and the orchestra playing. I mean, that's
Oh,
That's it. That's it. That's it.
that's it.
You put it
Year
out there,
30.
you put it out
Here's
there in
your
the universe. Okay, that's good. I always say put it out there in the universe, so I'm glad that you did it.
put it out there.
yes,
Yeah.
the universe.
I think that if you both work on something like that,
Yeah.
I just and then in the background, as a celebration to our country's 30th democracy, a massive picture of Nelson Mandela, Madiba's picture, massive artwork or something, and then you do it in the background, and then you bring in all the music and the performing. Oh, I think it's
Oh,
something
wow.
Beautiful.
We
the
need to
world
do
would love.
next year, Kerolin.
The two of you are bringing such a beautiful and glorious aspect of art to the moment. As one of you, I think it's Kerolin that said, it's that moment. This is the moment it's released. And you said the universe will hear it. Yes, and into God's ears. May it become may it happen. And may the two of you sit even higher on the stage, because there's something else about what you do that I'm loving here. The humility. It's a high level performance that you're giving. But the humility and the way you came on board, it touched me. And just engaging with you both, you're very young South Africans, and this is promising. You both can change the world, and go do that. Go do it with music, go do it with whatever. Just do it and reciprocate love through what you love doing. It can't go wrong. We have so much hurt in our country. There are so many young people like yourselves that are broken before they even get a chance to make the choice. They lose the choice. But you both are carrying the torch, and the torch says, here, take it. Take it, bring your torch too, and fill up on it, take the light, go, keep going. I see that you both can do that. And therefore, I think this is powerful in our land, into the land, the way God intended. And I see that happening here. So thank you both. Thank you for honoring me with this performance and your presence. So, Kerolin, about your outfits, your beautiful gear that you wear on stage. It's the colors, and you meld African and Indian culture into your garment pieces. Who's designing for you?
Okay, as being being blessed with being an architect and being a creative, many of the designs are my own. Yes, they are my own. Over the years, I've looked at different styles. I mean, when you work with African print, you are just inspired to do unique things. I have had, I think on one occasion where I had a designer design a garment for me and for Zawadi as well. His name is, I think, Spoo Shozi. But when it comes to my actual garment, and then also my accessories, like when it comes to beads and so on, it's my selection. It's what works with me, what doesn't work. I try to bring the Indian and the African element in. So it's always, it's so interesting, because when you have the next performance, you're thinking about how would I like to feel at that moment in time. That's why I'm saying we performed recently at the Durban Diwali festival. And I called Zawadi and I said, Zawadi, on the day, I called Zawadi, I said, you know what, I'm not too sure what you're wearing, but I'm using orange and black and orange. And she said, I'm wearing the same color. I was like, no, this can't be happening.
Synergy. You both have a synergy. And it just clicks. Wow.
It just clicks. So when it comes to that's why I say, like, people have to allow themselves to just collaborate and share journeys with other people. You'd learn things like you'd learn fashion, you'd learn about music, you'd learn about food and culture and how to exploit. So
you become, sorry, Kerolin, but what happens is you become a whole human being, a whole. Because if you have those elements missing, where you can actually meld with other cultures and it becomes your own, and then you're complete as a human being. You don't feel a misfit. Misfit behavior is for those who are afraid of, other people who look different, and other people who speak different, dress different. That's a misfit. Humans were not created to be like that. The cohesion is the true human being. That's where the true human being emerges out of the cohesion.
And
so, go ahead.
Yes, I also want to mention that, as a performer, we have to also think about all these, the other aspects, which is what do you use? Because what you use on stage also inspires people. It also enhances your performance because there's thought into how do I want to portray my art to other people. So yes, the collaboration is not only with the music, but it's also with the garments. How do we represent our beautiful country through the clothes that we use? And we know that Africa and India are, you can't deny the the class and the beauty of the beads and the garments. We are just spoilt for choice. We have an abundance of color. It's just celebration. The clothes in itself speaks of celebration. So Zawadi and I have, I think, not only been ambassadors of music and social cohesion, but I do believe that we're also ambassadors of fashion.
Fashion. You both should develop the Kerolin Zawadi brand.
Yeah, that's so true. That's very, very
amazing.
true.
And this is it's just a very marvelous art collaboration from music, because clothing is very much the visual art, because you know it stems from basic visual art, sketching, drawing, putting it together, and then sewing and the rest of it. Yes. It's all of that. It's incorporation of all these life skills, very earthy life skills, like Zawadi's instrument. You know, it just plays into everything. The instrument is indigenous, and it comes from the earth, practically, the tree, the calabash, and the string you said is a curtain rod. Was I right in saying it's a curtain rod? Just basic things in life. So you're teaching people that life is really not that complicated. Stop it. It's simple and beautiful, you know? It's like that. And I love this about the two of you. So Kerolin, bless us with another song.
Okay. So since we're on garments and clothing, I'm going to sing a snippet of a song. It's probably a 14th, I think it's a 15th century song composed by a saint poet. And this poet believed, he believed that every element was God. Every element in the universe was a representation of God. God was formless, and he composed such, he actually used to make garments. He made tapestries. And this song speaks of how God has woven this very fine and delicate tapestry. It's free of any impurities. It has complex interlacing, and he's used to weave this tapestry with this complexities. He also says that he's gone and he's woven this for 24 hours on end, and throughout an entire year, and this wheel spins with the greatest craftsmanship. And then he says towards the end that this garment is worn by normal people, it's worn by great people, it's worn by celestials and saints alike. And he says that today, this composer Kabir Das is going to wear it, and he's going to return it to the Almighty. And this garment is a representation of every human being. You know, that we wear this with pride, we wear this with all the beauty, and we're proud of wearing this, but God has woven this beautiful tapestry. So this is the song. I'm going to try and do it with my great granny's cymbal. This is very, very old.
Yes.
It's an Indian instrument. We call this the talam. Talam means beat or rhythm in Indian classical music. It's something that's familiar within the Western music as well. But in Eastern music, we use this for keeping timing. But it also has a sweet sound. Yes. And I'm going to sing a line of the song using this.
Go for it.
Jeeni, 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 beeni, chadhariya. Jeeni, 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 beeni, chadhariya. काहे की ताना काहे की भरनी काहे की ताना काहे की भरनी कौन तारे से बेनी छधरिया कौन तारे से बेनी छधरिया जीनी 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 छधरिया जीनी 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 छधरिया पिंगला पिंगला ताना भरणी इंगला पिंगला ताना भरणी सुषमन तारे सिबिनी चदरिया सुषमन तारे सिबिनी चदरिया जीनी 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 चढ़रिया जीनी 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 चढ़रिया जीनी रे चढ़रिया जीनी रे चढ़रिया जीनी रे चढ़रिया जीनी रे जीनी रे जीनी 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 चढ़रिया जीनी 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 चढ़रिया
Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous.
Amazing,
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely. And thank you very much for gracing us with that song. And look, I'm going to take you both away now from what you do as performers. I'm sure you listen to other kinds of music. So I'm just going to throw out at you, right? So we'll start with you, Kerolin. Yes. Jazz or hip hop?
Jazz.
Jazz, okay. Zawadi, jazz or hip hop?
Jazz.
Jazz. Well, that I was hoping you'd say that too. You know, we do have in South Africa a number of remarkable jazz performers and a collaboration of your music, because I've heard Eastern music, Indian music with jazz. Ravi Shankar did a bit of that.
Yes.
You know, Nora Jones is his daughter, right? You hear it in her music. You hear Eastern music in her music sometimes. You've got to listen very carefully and it comes out. I'd love to see the two of you perform with some jazz greats, because I think you have something in there. You know, if somebody experiments deep enough, you bring out a sound that's just unique. And so pursue that, follow it. Yeah, since you both said jazz, go that direction. If you want some names, I'm happy to share with you guys.
Maitrim bhajata akhilar chetrim. Maitrim bhajata akhilar chetrim. Atmavadeva paranapi pashyatam. Atmavadeva paranapi pashyatam. Yuttam त्यजता स्पर्धा त्यजता युद्धं त्यजता स्पर्धा त्यजता त्यजत परेश्वर क्रममाक्रमम् त्यजत परेश्वर क्रममाक्रमम्
Lobo bungani ngicela ungikhonze ngobungani ngicela ungikhonze futhi unqobe zonke inhliziyo futhi unqobe zonke ngicela ucabange abanye abafana nawe ngicela ucabange abanye abafana nawe futhi unqobe kube phakade futhi unqobe kube phakade Maitrim bhajata akhilar chetrim.
Janani prithvi कामदुकास्ते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुकास्ते जनको देवः सकल दयालु जनको देवः सकल दयालु दाम्यदयिता दयत्वं जनता दाम्यदयिता दयत्वं जनता श्रीयो सकल जनानं श्रीयो सकल जनानं श्रीयुभूयात् सकल जनानां श्रीयुभूयात् सकल जनानां श्रीयुभूयात् सकल जनानां. The last verse means, may the entire world live together as one family and live happily. The song.
And that's in isiZulu. We say, Mabaphile gentokozo, Mabaphile gentokozo, Mabaphile gentokozo.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. So I was going to ask you both one last question. What message do you have people globally wanting to break out of stereotypes and generalizations that plague all of us? But you know what? You answered the question musically. You did it before I asked the question. So it's a full stop on that. And thank you both so much. Thank you both, Kerolin and Zawadi.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
You have just blessed this show beyond. And I see great things for the two of you. The world will see your performances. I see great things for the two of you. And may your love and the joy you bring to music, to visual art, and just to the world as two people, you know, bringing the concept of social cohesion through music. You're uniting people in a very divided world. You are uniting people. So therefore, I think your message and your music has the power to make people think differently, see others differently, and just love differently as well, to show compassion and kindness. And one of the things we say is that cruelty is not an option. And your message through your music will not just put a dent into cruelty, you will obliterate it. Because Zawadi, your instrument looks, you know, you said it's like the bow and the arrow kind of thing. Now I can see it just obliterating cruelty on all levels, because you both have brought that to the table today as musicians and artists. So thank you both very much. I am honored and I feel so privileged that I had a private concert, and I will now work towards sharing it with the world.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for giving us this opportunity. And I think it's important for people like yourself to share the stories of everyone who has something to impart to others. And I pray that you continue doing what you do. I think it's important, and we are really blessed to have been on the show. Thank you for allowing that to happen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kerolin. That was very touching, and I take that. Thank you, Zawadi. Thank you so much. You're such a beautiful young woman. You radiate kindness and compassion and goodness. It's the best beauty to wear in the whole world. No makeup in the world can have that. So you just radiated, and I've seen you in performance. I've seen how you just lit up that room full of women.
Yes.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this amazing platform as well.
Thank you both.
The People of the Purpose show. I think it's an amazing platform for everyone who is talented or who is gifted to be here with you and enjoy the privacy with you as well, and get to be in conversation and get to know each other more. Thank you so much. This is a very good show for all artists. I wish you can continue and invite a whole lot more of kind of artists in different forms. And yes, we hope to come back again. And maybe when we are together that time to do our music together, but be on the People of the Purpose show, but singing together this time with the instrument.
Let's work on that. And thank you both so much. You know what? I feel blessed after today's show. Thank you, two beautiful young people. Thank you so much. God bless and everything of the best for your future. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.